have three takeaways from the Broncos beatdown on the Chiefs backups. I'm going to share them with you right now. Broncos Country, what is up? What a day it was on Sunday, January 5th. The Denver Broncos are playoff bound. They punched their playoff ticket, getting a 38-0 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. And I have three takeaways from this game that should make you feel real good, real nicey, to steal a John Gruden line about these Denver Broncos. First and foremost, how about the fact that they're going to the playoffs for the first time since Super Bowl 50? I say it all the time. I've tweeted it a million times, and I've shared it on the radio show. Beggars cannot be choosers. And you know what we've been for the last 9 years? We've been begging for a good football team. We've been begging for a good football coach. We've been begging for a good quarterback. And guess what's in front of us right now? A good coach, a good quarterback, and a good football team that is on their way to the postseason. I would love to do this in the comments. Tell me what's changed in your life since the last time the Broncos were in the postseason. It's dang near a decade. What's changed in your life? I bet it's been a whole lot, hopefully really good. I want to come back, circle back in the comments and read what's changed in your life. I did a quick little thing, and you do this kind of in sports talk radio, right? When it's like a 20-year gap or a 30-year gap. What was the number one song? The number one movie back at the time? The number one song the last time the Broncos were in the playoffs was Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk. That's a banger still, but you're not really hearing it on the radio. The number one movie was Star Wars Episode 7. Now, I'm not a Star Wars guy. In fact, I've not seen any of them, and I never will. So don't comment on the YouTube that. I won't do it. Never going to get my time, Star Wars. But that was the number one movie, Episode 7. How many episodes are there? Didn't Luke kiss his sister? I don't know how it goes. And the number one TV show was The Big Bang Theory. Again, I'm not into it, but I know a ton of people that love that show, and there was like spinoff after spinoff after spinoff about it. That's what's changed in the entertainment world over that time. And just think about what Bo Nix was able to accomplish. I got to read the list. That's how long it is. You know what Bo Nix was able to accomplish? He was able to accomplish something that Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Brandon Allen, Brett Rippon, Jeff Driscoll, Russell Wilson, back to Brett Rippon, Jared Stidham. I just listed 10 quarterbacks that couldn't do what Bo Nix has now done. And that's take the Broncos to the postseason. So Broncos Country, before you get into panic mode about Buffalo and, oh my gosh, what are they going to do against the NFL MVP, against the Buffalo Bills, against the weather that will come in Orchard Park? I get it. I'm going to do all that stuff too. But I'm saving that for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want to enjoy what this is right now. And you should be enjoying what this is right now. I love seeing texts and tweets from people about sharing these moments with their kids. Some of the things that changed is you're now responsible for another human being. You didn't even have kids the last time the Broncos were in the playoffs. You were probably a kid acting a fool that night. And now you have children and you get to share those moments, yesterday's moments, with them. This is awesome, Broncos Country. Before you panic about the Buffalo Bills, smell the flowers a little bit. You know what it smells like? It smells like the playoffs. It smells like a winning football team. It smells like a franchise quarterback. And it smells like a franchise quarterback that has the perfect fit for a head coach. Do I have game plans and some of the stuff he does from time to time? You bet I do. But after 17 games that I'm looking at the whole picture, the puzzle is finally complete. I'm satisfied with the photo that I'm looking at. It's the Denver Broncos going to the postseason. So enjoy this before you start to panic about the Buffalo Bills. We'll talk way more about the Buffalo Bills. In fact, on Wednesday's episode, we're going be deep into the Buffalo Bills here on Dover on Denver. But I wanted that to be my first takeaway because I need to remind myself from time to time too. We're so fortunate for the Broncos to be back into the playoffs. What the Nuggets and Avs have done in this city over the last 3 or 4 years has been outstanding and fun for sports fans and media chumps like myself to be a part of that. But this is a Broncos town, baby. You know it. I know it. My man Matthew knows it. This thing goes as the Broncos go, and they're back in the postseason. Enjoy this moment. Don't let the big, bad Buffalo Bills ruin your vibes right now because they're not ruining mine. I am ecstatic. I am thrilled. I know that this is just the beginning of a beautiful, long, healthy relationship between Bo Nix, Broncos Country, and the playoffs for this squad. So that's number one. Enjoy the heck out of this. Number two is Bo Nix's game. The dude was 26 of 29. He didn't miss a ball until his 19th attempt. And if he had connected on that one, you remember the play. Bo Nix is escaping from pressure, throwing off of his back foot, and just comes up short to Javonte Williams. That felt weird. I'm left-handed, and that was my right hand. Feel like I'm kissing my sister with that. That was his first incompletion. Would have been 19 for 19 with 3 touchdowns because Javonte would have walked on in to the end zone. Then he missed 2 more balls the entire rest of the way. Bo Nix was outstanding. He got back to finding that platform and throwing off of his feet planted, not trusting his arm strength. Maybe he did it in that one example I just gave, but he was absolutely outstanding. He had 2 balls that I hadn't seen that kind of placement before. Left hash mark Devon Vele, put it over a defender and in front of a defender to the spot where Devon had to leave his feet to go get it. Beautifully placed football. And then on the right hash, he did it to Cortland at the end of the first half. And that was actually the ball that put Cortland up over the number he needed to get his extra $500,000 bonus. Same thing. Only in a spot where Cortland Sutton could get it. So he calmed down, which was first and foremost, and that led to his feet being back on track, planting him and throwing the football with accuracy and ball placement. He absolutely did that. And you know what else he did? He wasn't scrambling east and west to get out of the pocket as much. Now, he still does that, and he's actually one of the better ones in the league to do that and still keep his eyes downfield and chuck that pigskin downfield for a completion. But he climbed the ladder a little bit more. It was just more calmness, calm, cool, collected. That's a lot of what Bo Nix was on Sunday, and he was not that against the Chargers or the Bengals. And I wonder, maybe it's a gripping too tight thing. Like, hey, I know if we beat the Chargers, we're in the postseason. I know if we beat the Bengals, we're in the postseason. Well, here, it's your last opportunity, and you were playing against inferior competition. Speaking of that, the inferior competition stuff, I saw it all over the text line today doing the radio show, and I see it all over social media when I'm doing Twitter and hanging out over there. You know what the Chiefs were with backups in? It doesn't matter that they had the backups in. That Kansas City Chiefs squad would beat the brakes off any college team out there. So it's still a damn good opponent for Bo Nix to go out and beat. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear, the opponents see all that. I said it before. The Broncos went from being one of the bad teams to beating all the bad teams. The next step in the evolution of a football team becoming a Super Bowl contender is now being one of the good teams that hangs with and beats the good teams. And you know what? They're going to do that starting next year. So first takeaway is enjoy the moment. Second takeaway is how freaking good Bo Nix was yesterday. And if you can take some of that confidence going into the Buffalo game. Now, I know it's different. I'm a weekend hack playing pickup hoops. What do you do on the weekends? Or what's your niche, your sport, whatever it is that you still play? It doesn't matter if you play against your kids who are 6th graders or your buddies, or perhaps it's a group of college kids that you're playing pickup at the rec against. If you play well, that carries over. That carries over, and it gives you a confidence boost of, you know what, I can do this. I belong. I'm good enough, and daggone it, people like me, right? That kind of stuff. So that's big for Bo Nix playing in the game that he played. Over 300 yards, 3 incompletions, and 4 touchdowns. That will carry over to the Buffalo game. And then number 3, the takeaway about Sean Payton. His game plan against the Kansas City Chiefs was brilliant. And I don't say that a lot because Sean has made me want to pull some of my hair out with what he's done via his game plan. But even if you go back before, it was out of control in the second half. It was all but over. They were playing the clock. No longer the Kansas City Chiefs. But even in that first half, maybe I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter. Go look at the run-pass splits. Very, very balanced for Sean Payton. And obviously they ran the ball much more than they threw it because they were up so big in the latter parts of that game. But Sean's game plan was great for this one. They received the ball. They marched right down the field and scored. They stopped the Chiefs on a 3 and out. They marched right down the field and scored. They had 14 points on the board before the Chiefs had run 10 plays. That is great game planning, great execution. Obviously, VJ's boys on the defensive side had to do their part, and they certainly did pitching a shutout. First time that the Chiefs have been shut out since 2012, and it came at the hands of the Denver Broncos. So I'm fired up about what I seen from Sean Payton, what I saw out of Sean Payton in that game. Now the question is, can he continue to do that? Can he bring that to Buffalo? And you know what? We'll talk about it more on Wednesday, but the weather, maybe I'm hoping for weather, because if it is bad weather, well, you can't throw the football down the field when it's raining and snowing, right? Maybe Sean will actually have to run the dang ball. So my big takeaways, enjoy this moment, Broncos country. Don't let the worry about the Bills stop you from relishing in this moment. And then Bo Nix, he's back, man. What he did last in the game against the Chiefs last Sunday, it gives me a lot of confidence that he's going to be okay and be able to hold his own against the Buffalo Bills. He's arrived in the NFL world. Am I telling you Bo Nix is the next Patrick Mahomes? No. Am I telling you Bo Nix is going to be the next Peyton Manning? No. But can Bo Nix be Drew Brees? Yeah, for really can. Can he be Matt Ryan? Absolutely he can. Can he be Jared Goff? You bet he can. Can he be Matt Stafford? Well, that guy's got a Super Bowl, right? He absolutely can be one of those guys. Bo has arrived. And Sean Payton, your game plan, man, feels like once every 3 weeks or so. You get it right, and then you fall back. I hope this isn't the week that you fall back against the Buffalo Bills. But it's a great time to be in Broncos country because they are back in the postseason for the first time since Super Bowl 50. Can't wait to talk to you on Wednesday. You're here, so like, subscribe, leave me a message in the comments. I'll circle back and come chat with you in the comments. This has been Dover on Denver, and now I'm done.